Hi there, welcome to the Croton Motors discussion table. Today we have something different, but also something that is very, very special for you. We are honored to host this dynamic duo of mother and daughter, but these are not your everyday mother and daughter. I will let them introduce themselves so that you can hear all about them. Hi, Karibuni.
My name is Tinashe Gatimu. I am 19 years old and I'm a rally driver.
Wow, okay.
Thank you very much, Sophie, for having us here tonight. My name is Croton Gatimu, Tinashe Gatimu's mother, and I'm also a rally driver. And in this case, when we're driving her, I'll be her navigator in the coming up WRC event end of March.
Okay, I just told you that this is not your ordinary mother-daughter duo. They are rally drivers. She drives, the mother navigates. So I suppose this is the only time that daughter tells mother what to do when you're navigating. All right, so tell us a bit more. Let us jump into it. I mean, I have so many questions. Like how, when?
Our mom is the better historian in this case.
I must say we started rallying my husband and I, Gatimu Mindo, and we started in 2008. 2008, where we used to do the 4x4 events, which used to be done back then in Athi River. Then we came up and did what we call the rally raid now, which was called cross country then, which was a more faster event than the 4x4s where you go over hurdles. So in this cross country, you just get a roadmap and everything, and you're told cover this in a particular time. So we started doing that with him. I drove him also. He was the navigator, and we did that for a couple of years. But around about 2011, 2012, we decided it's too slow for us. Let's come up now and do the bigger cars, bigger cars in the sense that faster cars, and that's when now we came up. I started driving. We started driving the Toyota Levin. We actually started in a VW Golf. Then we went to the Toyota Levin. However, when we changed now to the faster cars, he said, "You know what? Let me become your manager." We became an all rally team, ladies rally crew, where we call ourselves Divas on Wheels. Then we grew. We took a break for some time. Then we came back with a bang now in 2000 and what year was it when we started autocross? When you started autocross?
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So 2 years ago, we now came back and we started racing together. And that's how we've grown through the sport.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Tina, you're 19 years old now.
Yes.
So when did you learn how to drive and where?
So when I was younger, we used to do GP karting at Carnival. Then from there, it was basically like driving an automatic car because it was just gas, brake, steer. So from there, I kind of got the hang of driving. And then I started driving a manual car throughout the years, kidogo kidogo, with my dad teaching me the basics. And then now in 2022, I started participating now in motorsport events, participating in autocross, where now I properly drove a manual car.
Wow. I do not want to say whether I can drive a manual car or not, but hats off. So basically what you're saying is that you're a rallying family. You're rallying plus your mom and your dad.
Yes.
And
also,
so
just to mention, even the older daughter, she has an older sister. She decided to take back, be part of the team in the social media space. She's actually into motorbikes. She's not into cars. She said she wants those race bikes. So what she does is she kind of takes care of our social media space. And when the correct time comes, she'll get a motorbike.
Okay, so you're obviously not an ordinary family. So, I mean, other families are not doing this. The kids are playing chess or swimming. I mean, why rallying, and where do you get the courage to get into a car and race the way we see it on TV? Like, especially as a young lady. It is not, I don't think it's an everyday sport for a young lady.
No. I got my courage from mom and dad, seeing how they carry themselves as growing up. Basically, they taught us you can do anything if you set your mind to it. And from there, I just built up the courage to start driving. And I think it was also just inside me
Okay.
because coming from two speed junkies, it's believable that it would just be there.
Okay, so speed junkies is also a really good way to describe this
Yep.
family.
Yep.
So, all right. So, can you maybe tell us, like, where do you race? What kind of races do you enter? Or is there a calendar? Or how does that work?
So currently we are part of a team called 770 Motorsports. So we are basically a group of families who participate in. We currently do autocross, which is there are about 10 events every year. So that's what we do at the moment. And then we also participate in classic rally, in WRC, in rally cross, and yeah.
You recently were in a rally where you were driving and your mom was navigating.
That was last year
That
in the
was last-
WRC last
Can you
year.
tell us a bit more about that?
You want to go? Oh, so what happened last year when we? How did we get into the what's it called, into the WRC event? We started off with the previous year. We'd done what we call the Lioness Rally. It was just a small event put together by a bunch of ladies. We came together to race, and that's where we started driving together with her. I drove; she was the navigator. Then along the way, what we call the autocross events, where we take part and we race against each other. So we drive the same car, but now she has her turn, I have my turn. Then along the way, when the WRC came back, the current government put together a team of ladies.
Okay.
We're calling ourselves the Talanta Hella Ladies Rally Team.
Okay.
So we are a group of 4 teams. So that's how we got into the WRC. What happened? Ideally, that event I was supposed to drive, she navigates, because she had become of age and had learned the dynamics all about racing and everything. But we as we went along, as we were preparing, we said, you know what? Let's encourage this younger generation to take over. Let's give her a chance to drive. That's how she ended up on the driver's seat, and I ended up on the navigator seat. But that is how we started. We got into the WRC event, and we actually finished 10th. She actually finished 10th.
Wow, that's amazing.
We finished 10th.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow, that is just, your story is so inspiring on so many levels.
Yes.
Now let's talk preparation. So how do you prepare for a rally? Do you need special equipment, clothing, cars? What cars do you drive, by the way? I mean, we sell cars, so we're interested.
Okay, so I started with a Magi bug, which is a type of buggy. So from there, I moved to the Toyota Levin, which mom used to drive in rallies. And then now, currently I'm driving a Subaru GF8.
Okay.
But for the World Rally Championship WRC rally, we'll be driving a Subaru N10.
All right.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting because the different disciplines, we are doing the autocross, where we do it in the GF8. We're going to do the rally, where we're going to do it in the Subaru N10. There's a rally cross event, which is a very exciting event. You need to come for the next one, which is in April.
Let me know.
It's awesome, and bring your kids as well.
Okay.
Now that one we race we have a team now from the young man to the lady to we call them the champs, and then now we call the legends.
Okay.
So what happens? We all share a car, and we drive the Mitsubishi Evo 9.
All right.
So it's the different vehicles that we drive in different disciplines.
So you use different vehicles for different races.
For different races, yes.
All right.
Because in a calendar year, there are very many events. But in our particular case, as a team, a 770 Motorsport team, we've decided to take part in the autocross. And now we're taking part under the Talanta Hella in the Safari Rally. And then now comes the Rally Cross, where is now, so those are those different disciplines that we've taken off the calendar. And that's what we're taking part in this year.
So how do you decide which car to use? Because I think last year Toyota Yaris won. Like, why not that? Why a Subaru? Like, how do you decide?
So we, first and foremost, you go with what is available. For example, if you look at the Toyota Yaris, it's made specifically for rally. So we don't have such an option in Kenya. So you can take your regular VW Golf or Toyota Levin or Subaru and then just convert it into a rally car by fitting now the roll cage and the special seats and everything. So in that way, it also makes the sport affordable because not everyone can afford, let's say, to get the RS. So so now from there, you build your car, you race it, and then you slowly build up to better cars and yeah.
So that means also there are people who specialize in building rally cars, as in modifying them for rally.
Yes, there are actually people out here who do that. That's their specialty, keeping up to the standards of the safety and looking at all the safety aspects. Because in rally, the most important thing we say is safety.
Yeah.
We must be safe. We must keep our spectators safe. So there are those people who specially just out there making rally cars specifically with the safety aspect in mind, the race speed aspect in mind, the power of the car and everything. Yes. And you also mentioned how we prepare.
Yes.
So, okay, personally, what we do as us and as mentally, we, of course, every day we do our morning exercises. Okay, sometimes she does evening, me, I prefer to do morning. But you must keep yourself focused and fit also at the same time, because this is an endurance event. It really gets hot in there, time taken, a lot of concentration. Now, when it comes to preparation of the cars, again, there's a special team, very, very special, who prepare the car and make sure that we're racing, that it keeps up to standards, doesn't break down and all that. Now, once they prepare the car, then now we go out to practice. We choose which weekends. We can look at the calendar, when is the next event and everything. So we go out there in the field and just practice, all the way from the little kids, the little ones who take part in autocross, in the buggies, all the way to the older ones of us. Now, I told you it's a 7 to 70 thing. So all the way to the bigger, older people, we all go out there and just practice. Because what we need to do is we need to make ourselves better. And what better way than to spend a weekend than practicing? Yeah, instead of just sitting.
So where? Is there like a field somewhere or like on a road? Where do you practice?
We sometimes go out to Kasarani, where's the circuit, where we just make an arrangement now with the current team that's taking care of that. We just make an arrangement to practice. Sometimes we go out to Stony Athi and just practice. You can even go as far as Nakuru. There are even tracks out there in Nakuru. You can go there, practice. So it depends on, we just get to choose and agree and decide where we're going to practice. Yeah.
Okay. So I had not thought of the, physical aspect, like you need to prepare physically also as well as mentally. So are there any challenges that you can talk about? Or before we go to the challenges, let's talk about the wins. So what has been your most successful events that you can share with us? How has it gone so far?
So for me, my most successful event was in rallycross in I think it was 2022 or 2023 when I finished in second place in the two-wheel drive category. That's when I was driving the Toyota Levin.
Okay.
That's my best result.
Yeah, and you just said you also came 10th. That sounds like that's also a really big deal.
Yes, that's also another big one.
What about Mom?
The biggest achievement, I think, was when we finished the position we finished at when we were doing the rally last year. And also for us, for me, it's the rally cross, because we came out as the champions. In the team champions, we came out number 1. That was a big deal. Is that another exciting moment? The other exciting moments is when we do autocross and we're looking at our times. And then she tells me, Mom, I've won you, Mom, I've won you. Then I'm thinking, oh, so now you've come to beat me. Yeah. But that's very exciting. And seeing that she's also coming up in the races and everything and being able to handle that car. As a mother, you become very proud that she's able to handle the car, which is the most important. You see how it is out here when you're driving and everything, that she can handle it out in the bush. Then now when she comes also on road, where she's learning how to drive. So for me, those are the most my most proud moments.
All right. So what about challenges? So first, my biggest question is, you're a mother and daughter, and we all imagine there could be challenges between a mother and daughter. So what are some of the dynamics that challenge you as a mother and daughter as you're racing together? And then just in general, what challenges do you face when you're racing?
Do I want to call them challenges or do I want to call them there's a word. I'm just trying to look for it. How I look at it is, I look at it like a positively, like an opportunity for you to keep growing with your children. We've gone everywhere with these guys since they were young. So when we come and race together, I want to call it like it's a moment of like bonding. Yes, we have our moments. Like mom, sometimes she tells me either, because this is my first time in navigation. Last year she was telling me, you get a road book, okay? That gives you basically it's a roadmap. So when I'm reading, either she's going too fast.
I'm not going too fast. You're going too slow.
So what happens is I need to keep up with her pace. I need to be one note ahead, meaning I'm seeing the next corner where she's here. Sometimes if I'm too slow, she tells me, "Mom, you're too slow." The next. So I think that's the only time I can call challenging. Where probably now you're like, I need the next step, and as a driver, I understand where she's coming from because you need to be next.
So let me get this. So it's like a road, and you're just describing, oh, there's a corner there, there's a bump there, and she's just driving based off of what you're saying.
Yes, we call them either medium rights or medium lefts or jumps, not a bump, not left, right, or even their number. The corners are actually numbered 1, 2, 3. So it depends on the gradient of the corner. So you call it as it comes. And it's really language that you must learn.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously there's language that you also must learn. So there's so much that goes into this then.
Yeah.
So the other question would be, okay, so we've talked about the technical aspects where the car has to be ready, you're ready physically, you're ready mentally, and you say they're not really challenges, but you know. So so clearly teamwork is very important.
Yes.
So that you have to be synced.
Yes.
So my earlier question was, do you have any challenges as, you know, not as rally traders, but mother, daughter, you know, you carry the dynamic with you. Is there anything you can tell us about?
Maybe she can answer. She tells me.
You can't really carry from home okay, not that anything happens at home, first of all, not anything bad, but like in the rally car, you have to be focused. So in that moment, I can't, even though I'm calling her mom, I can't think of her as mom. I'm thinking of her as my navigator. And of course, she has more experience than me. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to learn from her, and I appreciate it. And so I take every lesson as positively as I can.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. You must be a very proud mother.
Oh, yeah. Indeed. And we thank God.
Divert a bit. You're a student.
Yes.
Yes? I was going to say, so do you have day jobs? What do you do? This sounds involving. It sounds like it takes a lot of your time. Can you tell us how you are able to keep up with school and keep up with rallying?
So currently I'm doing my A-levels. I'm actually in year 13. So during the week, of course, I go to school. And then on the weekends when you have practice or rally, my mind is solely on that. And then during the week, my mind is solely on school. So that's how I manage to balance it. And I also know that behind the scenes, mom and dad are doing their best to sort out the rally side so that I don't, of course, have to like think about it too much. So yeah.
Do you have to sometimes take time off school to rally?
Yes. Okay. Rarely, because most races happen during the weekend. For example, for autocross, most races happen on Sunday. So I don't usually have to take time off. But for example, let's say there was a Safari mini classic event that happened a few years back. So that time I had to take one day off from school because I was actually a mechanic, or rather I was in the mechanic role in that event. So I took one day off because we were just about to close school. And and then I went for the event, learned what I could, and came back home.
All right. So, Carol, what do you do? Like, what do you do on a typical day when you're not rallying?
First of all, even I forgot to mention, now that she's talked about the mini classic, the dad, who is my husband and who is our father, he takes part in the East Africa Safari Rally Classic, which is for the older vehicles, and he navigates our friend Eric Bengi. So when he's even managing us in this, the rally and all, now at least he gets to get into a car. This is what that event takes place once a year, and this year it's it's a mini classic and it's in August. So anyway, on a on a normal day, what do? We run a garage, my husband and I. It's called Shift Auto Services, which is in Westlands. And also we run a motor vehicle recovery company where we high lift, basically what Kenyans call towing. However, we call it high lifting because we put it piggyback onto a truck. And when it's in an accident or a breakdown, and take it to the garage of your choice. And we also do what we call the haulage from Mombasa, Nairobi, which is new units, which is more or less what you do, and bring them to Nairobi and take them to the yards, the car yard sales, whoever we've gotten into a contract with. Yeah, that's what we do on a normal day to day.
All right. So how do you balance that and rally?
Now, because of the garage and having the garage, what happens when we come out of a race, the cars are prepared. We have a team, of course, behind the scenes who now take care of the cars. So the cars come back to the garage. As you're doing the normal cars, preparing the client's cars and everything, also repairing the rally cars. What we're doing during the day, you're running. You see this, the motor vehicle recovery. It's just a call. You get a call. I need my car taken from ABCD, blah, blah, blah. So you see your call, we also have a team and a team running that particular section. So how do we manage the rallying? As she said, we only go out to practice over the weekends. And it's not every weekend. It's just probably every other 2 weekends or something like that. So now, even as that is taking place, then we are able to rally. So it's you normally balance. You get time to balance it out, and they all work together at the same time.
So listening to you, I mean, with all the preparation, the cars, the training, rallying sounds like an expensive sport. So how do you do it?
Let me start with, before I talk now how we are rallying into this, let me talk about how we do it through the 7 to 70. The 7 to 70 team, we have a few corporates who've come on board, very few. Well, actually only one, the segment who've come on board and have supported us through this program. It's a very expensive affair, so we keep looking for corporates to come out there. So we encourage more corporates to come out there and come and sponsor us and partner. Actually, the correct word here is partner, and see how we can work out a partnership. For this particular event that we're going to take part in end of March, we want to thank the Kenya government through the Talanta Hela initiative. They've sponsored us, they've sponsored us to take part in this event. So that's how we have been able to to run the event. And also Vivo Energy. Vivo Energy came up last week and just gave us some fuel, which we're going to use during the event, for recce and also for the event. So that's how we managed to be able to take part in this particular event. And we really, really want to thank the sports CS, Ababu, for making us, helping us, actually assisting us be able to take part in this event. And also, he's very passionate about the rally and young people taking part in it. That's how Tina has gotten to take part in this end drive. So we're actually really grateful to them to be able to take part in this. Yeah.
Wow, I mean, it's encouraging to hear that the government is encouraging diverse sports.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They're very big in that. They're very big in that.
So now, Tina, you're 19 years old. You're still a teenager. What advice do you have for other teenagers who are 16, 17, 18, and they're thinking about their life and they're wondering what direction to go to? Do you have any advice for them?
Not to okay. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself, because even though I'm doing this at 19 and it sounds a bit paradoxical, not a lot. I mean, you're still young. You still have a lot of time to figure out what it is that you want to do, and don't get involved with bad company, because bad company spoils good morals. And just take it one day at a time. Don't pressure yourself too much.
Okay, yeah. That's interesting. Speaking of time to plan, what are your future plans? Like, are you planning to go to university? Are you planning to become a big rally driver? What's the plan?
So currently I'm planning to go to university. I want to study mechatronics engineering. Hopefully I can get a place in the UK, but if not, I will study here in Kenya and stay with Kinamam. And keep racing, yes.
Okay.
And in terms of my rallying career, I would like to build up to joining the WRC, the Rally 1 cars,
Okay.
and race with the big boys, as they're
With the
called.
big little, if there are young people out there watching this video and thinking, I want to do that, like, is there a place they can learn how to drive race cars, or how can they get into the sport?
Yes, there is. And the most exciting bit is that there is the government is actually coming up with a rally school, which will be launched during the week of the rally. What this rally school will have is you can come, learn how to drive, learn how to navigate. And rallying is not only driving and navigation. There are very many other aspects in it, in the sense that you have controllers, you have time controllers, you have marshals, you have scrutineers, which scrutineers play a very, very important part in this whole thing of rallying, because scrutineers come and look at the car, judge the car, is it okay, is it safe to race and all that. Then they hand it back to the competitors, who is asked to race. If they decide the car is not in tip-top condition and they feel it will be a safety hazard to you, they write it off. So there's those ones, there's the stewards, there's the administration bit of it. There's so many aspects in terms of the rally world that takes place behind the scenes. I don't know whether to call them people in the back office or something, but there's a lot going on. All that is going to be can be taught in the rally school. So what I would say for these young people, even the old ones, if you feel you're up to come into learning, just sign up at the rally school. They'll take you through a curriculum, a detailed curriculum of what to do, what you need to do, when. So yeah, that's I can ask them. Yeah.
All right. I'm curious about your attire. Even as we wind up, is it like special attire, or like is there like a special shop for it? I see you have a helmet. Is it a typical helmet? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
So all of these clothes are fireproof. So that's what makes them special. So like the shoes, socks, overall, even the innerwear, the helmet. There's another piece of clothing you wear before you wear the helmet. It's called a balaclava. So they're all fireproof, because in case of an incident, you need that extra few seconds to get out of the car. So these clothes provide that. And there's also the hands, it stands for hand and neck support. So basically it attaches to your helmet.
Could you show it to us?
Okay,
I'm
explain.
not using a helmet.
Explain. I'll show. Explain.
So this device here is called a hands, which stands for hand and neck support. So it's attached to the helmet, as you can see over here. So it basically prevents whiplash, because you wear your seatbelt on top of the hands, and then in case anything happens, like sudden change in direction or anything, your head doesn't and your neck don't move too far away. So that's how it keeps you safe.
And the
Are
helmet
you
as
saying
well.
even the shoes are fireproof? Can we see the shoes?
So the shoes, as you can see, are not regular shoes.
Okay.
Yes.
So wow. So there's definitely a special shop where you buy these things.
Yes, they're special dealers in Kenya. However, we get them from who have to import them, because they need to be made from the manufacturing companies of the WRC and FIA, because they have FIA regulations and all. So they have to make them to some certain specifications. So the dealers in Kenya are the ones who import on our behalf, and then we get them from them.
So yeah, so they have to meet a certain standard.
They do. They must. They must.
All right. So Tina, I'm curious. When I was growing up, there were a lot of famous rally drivers: Patrick Njiru, Shakameta, Vic Preston, and
Yuha Kankunen.
Yeah, Yuha Kankunen, and the likes. So who would you say is your role model in the rallying world right now?
My role model at the moment.
Other than your mom and dad, of course.
Yes, I had to mention them first and foremost. But my role model at the moment is Eric Bengi, who's actually my mentor. And he's actually, other than mom and dad, he's the one who's also teaching me how to drive, and the discipline that you need, and everything that goes into being a rally driver. I'm learning from him and mom and dad.
Okay, all right. A parting shot for us.
My parting shot is join us in Naivasha. Please come and share us on in Naivasha. All the fans out there, it's an Easter weekend. Please bring your children. There's very many spectator stages that you can come and watch us. And also to the young ones and even to the older people, please, this I really emphasize on this. Please don't drink and drive. Please don't drink and drive. Cars are not a joke. Cars are not a joke. They have minds of their own. So you have to be really in control of yourself. And if you really, really, really must drink, please have a designated driver. Agree today, this you're driving, so no drinking. Have a designated driver. Tuonane Vasha.
All right, so Sama, thank you. And thank you for that last point. It's quite important.
Yeah.
So I wish to thank you very much,
Asante.
Tina and Caroline, for visiting us today here at Croton Motors and discussing your passion for rallying with us. We are challenged, we are inspired. I am so challenged by you because I'm not quite sure what I was thinking when I was 19 years old. Yeah. So thank you for that. I hope all of you will be as inspired as we are by this dynamic family. So thank you very much and see you next time.
And we hope to see you in Vasha as well.
Yes. And see you in Vasha.
Yes.
Eastern Navasha.
Eastern Vasha.
Yeah.
Croton Motors.